Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with comedian Ron Placone and Jim Earl. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Look at that. They look nice over there. They look
Hello.
happy. I'm a big fan of Bill Maher's. I like his show. He brings on all different voices. Jeremy Scahill, who's a great reporter, and he works for The Intercept, and he's a frequent guest on that show. He decided not to go on that show. Now, I know you can't read all that. That's what he posted today. I saw that on his Twitter feed. He posted that. I'll read you the important parts. It said, why I will not appear this week on Real Time with Bill Maher. And so he goes in, and I got the important parts for you. He's the first two paragraphs. He said, today I saw the news that Milo Yiannopoulos, is that how you say it, is scheduled to be the lead guest on Friday's episode of Real Time with Bill Maher. I was already scheduled to be a panelist on the program that same evening, along with Larry Wilmore and Jack Kingston. I have decided that I will not be appearing on the show. Before I explain my reasons for this, I want to say that I have had the pleasure of working as a correspondent for Real Time, and over the years have been a guest or panelist many times. I have total admiration and respect for the producers, writers, and others who work on the show. Over the past decade, the people at Real Time have become like family to me. He's really laying it on thick now. I get it. I get it that you don't want to burn a bridge with HBO and all the people who work at the show. But they've become like family to me. Maybe they have. I passionately disagree with and find offensive some of Bill's views. I feel exactly the way Jeremy Scahill feels, by the way. So I like Bill Maher. I like his show. I like that when he's shown courage. Some of his opinions I vehemently disagree with, and I find offensive. I'm sure there's some of my views, a lot of other. It's okay. Particularly when his comments on Islam and Muslims veer into vitriol. At the same time, I have deep respect for Bill and his voice on many other issues, and I believe that his staff have created a vital platform for debate and discussion, and at times I love and others I loathe. I know I fall into the latter category for some of the show's viewers because I hear from them every time I appear, meaning people loathe him. Whatever one might say about Bill, he always allows guests to challenge him or disagree with him, and that's cool. So there you go. Good on Bill Maher. Milo Snuffleupagus is many bridges too far. He has ample venues to spew his hateful diatribes. There is no value in debating him. Appearing on Real Time will provide Yiannopoulos with a large, important platform to openly advocate his racist anti-immigrant campaign. It will be exploited by Snuffleupagus in an attempt to legitimize his hateful agenda. Snuffleupagus's appearance could also be used to incite violence against immigrants, transgendered people, and others at a time when the Trump administration is already seeking to formalize a war against some of the most vulnerable people in our society. Snuffleupagus has shown he will use his appearance to publicly attack and shame specific ordinary people by name, a practice which could lead to violence or even death. Real Time, of course, has the right to book whomever it wants on the show, including Snuffleupagus, but I cannot participate in an event that will give a platform to such a person. For these reasons, I have informed the producers of Real Time that I will not appear on the show. I agree with him. And, I could certainly see myself doing a show where that guy was on it, or even having him come on my show. I decided not to. I decided to not even do segments about him because I had a whole segment put together a couple of months ago when ABC's Nightline, maybe it was ABC News, I don't know. It was the good-looking news guy at ABC with the nice lips, and he
narrow it down a little.
I know it's tough. There's so many, right? And he was the guy who used to be on Nightline. Anyway, he interviewed him, and they were in a park on a bench. And he starts off the interview with you're just a jerk. You're just mean for no reason, and you're rude. And the way I was brought up, what you do is this and that. And why should anybody even want to hear you anyway? All you do is spew hate. Basically, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but it was basically what he said. And then he goes on to interview him for a half an hour. I'm like, yes, exactly. What's the point of this? So that's how I felt about it. So I did not. And then I was like, I don't even want to cover that. Now I'm doing the exact thing. I'm or doing a similar thing that I'm making fun of him for doing. But this is interesting. So now it's time to, it's come up that this guy's in the news all the time now. So me not covering him certainly isn't going to make a difference. But I agree with Jeremy Scahill. I think that, you use your platform. I think it normalizes a guy like that. I know Bill will give him a hard time and everything, and, he'll say the right things, but we're in that at age of normalization of horrible things, and that's what people are afraid of. And I applaud Jeremy for doing that. I agree that, when Bernie Sanders got on stage with Ted Cruz to debate healthcare, it elevated Ted Cruz. And so he doesn't want to elevate these guys and make them seem like, just another point of view. Because there's some people in the media who like to do that. Oh, you demonize people who have a different point of view. Hey, you know what? Ignorance is not a point of view. It's just ignorance. And that's the difference. Hey, how do we end slavery? I think we should have a war. I think we should do it through the laws. Those are differences of opinions. Hey, I think slavery's good. That's not an opinion. That's ignorance. That's evil. Okay? So there's the difference. I'm here with Jim Earl and Ron Placone. How do you? These are two fantastical comedians. Jim Earl, you're an Emmy Award-winning writer. He used to write for The Daily Show. What do you think about this?
I think, Scahill could have gone on and laid. Scahill could have gone on the Maher show and laid into Maher after the interview, which would have made a good point. It would have made on two levels against Yiannopoulos and against having somebody like him on the Maher show, which is normalization in a way. But it also depends on how Maher treats Yiannopoulos on that show as well. I don't see anything wrong with having that guy on once to completely skewer him and then never have him on again. But when you have people like Henry Kissinger on or Donald Trump on your talk shows that are entertainment talk shows, and you don't do them not Jimmy Kimmel, but Jimmy Fallon and
people gave Jimmy Fallon a real hard time
Steve
for that,
Colbert,
right?
Having Henry Kissinger on, and Jon Stewart for having Henry Kissinger on to normalize him by talking about his fucking book. That is hideous, in my opinion, and it should never happen.
What do you think, Ron?
I'm kind of going where Jim's going, where I don't know if I would automatically say just having them on your platform normalizes it. I think it's, what do you do with that platform? Do you play with the person's hair and downplay all the horrible ideas that they have? Or do you really confront them and skewer them? Do you really take them to the cleaners? And Bill Maher would have an opportunity to do that. And as far as like Scahill's decision, that's a decision he's got to make on his own. If I was in that situation, I don't know. Like, I might want to try to ruffle some feathers and see what I can do.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
I mean, do you dance with a war criminal, or do you tousle his hair of a future war criminal?
Well, I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Jim, for sure. I don't think Bill Maher is going to tousle his hair. I don't. We'll see what happens, but I think Bill will give a good interview and point out where the guy's a knucklehead. And I think maybe you're right, Jim. Where if you have him on once to kind of skewer him and expose him, then that's okay. Yeah, I mean, again, these are differences of opinions, right? So and I'm willing to have that difference of opinion. I don't know. Maybe I was thinking about as you were telling, like maybe after Bill does the interview with the Yiannopoulos, that and then Jeremy Scahill could actually really blow him out of the water or something, or who knows?
But I know,
that could be compelling television, and then that could maybe go viral, and that would help, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe this is the right way to do it. I don't know.
Well, I think Maher's going to have him on for the freedom of speech angle.
Right, because Berkeley didn't let him speak,
right,
or because there was a protest and Berkeley didn't let him speak. Boy, I tell you what, you know how I love how the right wing or the nationalists like to call people snowflakes, right? When they get their feelings hurt, they're the biggest pussies in the fucking world. As soon as something happens to them, oh my God, you would have not. Shut up. People protested your stupid fucking speech. Shut
We're
up.
pro-genocide and a college campus doesn't want us here? Oh, we are outraged.
Yeah, I know.
I think Maher is going to empathize on the freedom of speech angle, since he feels like he was a victim after 9/11 for, and he lost his show, blah blah blah, and so I think he's going to talk about that angle and mostly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Maybe.
ACLU isn't the ACLU representing Yiannopoulos or defending his the freedom of speech angle?
Well, the ACLU, I remember when I was a kid, I grew up in Chicago, and the Nazis would always march in Skokie. If you see that movie, The Blues Brothers, that's reminiscent of that. Oh, I hate not, and they would do it, and and Skokie was a lot of Jewish population, so they're trying to get people, and I think that's what these alt-right guys are doing. They just like to get you. Are you triggered? I triggered you. You were triggered. I bet you're triggered. How triggered were you? Oh, you're triggered. You sound triggered. Are you triggered? Who's triggering you? Why are you so triggered? Oh, did I trigger you? Holy fuck. Mm-hmm. It's like, look, I bothered you, and you acknowledged me bothering you. That's what, yeah. That's why I became a comedian, because I also have that need for attention, but then I do something that's actually beneficial to society. I create entertainment that people enjoy. See? I get two needs met. They're in a healthy way. So this would be an unhealthy. Those are the unhealthy ways to get attention, when you're constantly just poking people with no redeeming value to it. And it's just ignorance, by the way. So I don't really know much about this Yiannopoulos, but I know that, he's a self-loathing gay guy, right? He considers himself on the right, and he's gay. And I saw a little bit, like a 5-minute segment he did with Joe Rogan, and it was that part where Joe Rogan's like, "You're gay, though?"
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
boy.
So yeah, I mean that's if you're on the right and you're gay, things happen to you growing up that we probably can't explain right now. You need a team of psychiatrists, and so that's how I feel about those guys. I also need a team of psychiatrists, by the way. I just don't. It just isn't that obvious. I'm a gay guy running around hating other people. Okay, so there you go. I wonder. And this is only better for Bill Maher's show, right, that he decides to not go on. It gives more. Look, I'm talking about it, and now as I'm talking about it, I'm like, I want to see how Bill handles this. I'll probably tune in. I haven't tuned into Bill's show for quite a while, just because. What is that thing? Jealousy. It's that thing. That thing. I want to have a studio with a live audience. That's why we do the live shows now. And those to me bring me so much joy, the live shows, having immediate feedback. As a comedian for 20 years, that's what I'm always used to. And how do I know if it's good unless there's someone in front of me telling me? That's how I feel.
February 20th.
Oh, so the February 20th, it's sold out. And then we're doing March 4th at the Improv Lab. And then March 20th, again, is our next date. So we got a lot of dates happening. They sell out fast, so get your tickets. All right, I don't know how we got off on that, but we'll see you. Hey, the next live Jimmy Dore show is March 4th. That's a Saturday. Get your tickets right below. The next one after that is March 20th. The shows sell out really fast, so get your tickets right now. Links right there.